After driving until about midnight, Mitch finally made his way to the compound. There were 3 different checkpoints that he had to bypass in order to cross over into the secure zone. The first checkpoint was a simple one. It was fairly easy to miss. A wooden log gate was all that stood between highway and the simple road. There were thick and heavy fields on either side of it. Mitch checked out his GPS and double-checked to make sure he was in the right place. But it couldn't be the right place, could it? He couldn't tell if the man who was by the gate was a guard or a vagrant. There, beside the metal latch, was a hot dog stand that had a sign on it. Oranges, 2 for $10. Next to it was a man with a long beard and dim eyes. He appeared to be sleeping at first until Mitch pulled up a little closer. Determined to find out if he was in the right place, Mitch pulled over and got out of his car. The man watched him as he pulled up. Mitch walked towards him. "Excuse me, sir. I'm looking for..." "What's your name?" The man cut Mitch off. "Mitch Lux. Wait right here." He stared at Mitch for a moment, then at the car. "How many people are in that vehicle?" Mitch was confused. None. No people. The man slowly went to the cart and pressed a button. "I have a Mitch Lux here." The cart lit up in a green color as the man turned to him. "You're clear to go," he stated, pushing the cart aside and opening the gate. Mitch was dumbfounded, but wasn't about to stick around asking questions. He peered down the path. The road was like the sky, vast, dark, and empty. The time, the sky, the man, it was all a bit creepy. He walked back into his car and was on his way. The road was bumpy and winding. Most of all, it was dark. Living near cities for most of his life, rarely did he realize what it was to be in complete and total black. As Mitch drove further, he noticed he was heading towards the mountains. The temperature gauge in his car was starting to drop. 60, 59, 58. Finally, it hovered at 50 degrees. Though he wasn't increasing his elevation, the darkness felt cold. "It's hard to explain," he thought, as dirt kicked up while he rode. Finally, he reached a clearing with another gate. This time, it looked a bit more official. There were 2 guards there that manned a massive parking lot. Several hundred cars were there. He pulled up to them and lowered his window. "My name is Mitch Lux. I was told to..." "Step out of your vehicle, sir," one soldier abruptly advised. The chill of air blasted him in the face and froze his bones. He really didn't want to get out, but it would seem as though he had no choice. Turning off his car, he stepped out. He caught a glimpse of beyond the gate. In the near distance, it looked like a small town at the foot of the mountain. "You'll need to come with us, sir. Hand over your keys to the private place." Mitch was unsure of what to do. No one gave any introduction, no official statement, nothing. How did they even know he was in the right place? "Excuse me, officer. I don't know if I'm in the right place. My name is..." Again, the soldier cut him off. "Sir, we are aware of who you are. Please hand your keys to the private here so that I may escort you in." Confused, Mitch did as told, handing the keys over. "Follow me," the officer instructed. They made their way to a golf cart near the gate and hopped in. The officer fired up the cart and pulled up to a gate, swiping a badge near a metal reader. It opened the gate, and they began to drive into town. All Mitch could think about was how cold it was, how underprepared he was. And then he realized, "I have to go back, my things are in the car." "They'll be in your quarters once they've been inspected and checked," the officer assured him. Where are we headed?" Mitch asked. "I'm not at liberty to say," the soldier responded, as they continued to drive. Mitch liked the setup of the town. It reminded him of an old 50s area locale. There was a series of similar looking houses that made up the basic households. about 200 to his calculation. They were all cookie cutter and similar, almost as if they were pop-up homes. Then they reached Main Street. Here there were shops and groceries, diners and clinics. It was a small town feeling. Past Main Street was a vast plain of wheat. Beyond that were the military barracks. Here, bright lights and patrols were buzzing the area with life that had been lost since he stepped off of the plane. They stopped at the gate leading up to the entrance. High walls and several gun turrets surrounded the barracks, which had annexed itself by the mountain. The officer stopped the car and got out. Mitch followed. As they approached the gate, guns were drawn on the both of them. The officer performed a salute and pointed towards Mitch. Another officer at the gate motioned him forward. Mitch was told to line up near the wall as the officer checked his screen. He verified Mitch's identity using a photo and gave him the all clear. Then, his escort got back into the golf cart and drove back into town. The officer by the gate made a call and a female officer approached him. "Mitch Lux?" she asked. "Yes, that's me." "Follow me, please." She turned and walked away. Mitch trailed her. After some winding through the barracks, she brought him to a bunker and opened the door for him. They entered. Inside the bunker were several screens and officers operating computers that let out an emerald green glow. Finally, they reached an office in the far end of the bunker, and an officer knocked. "Come in," a voice bellowed. They entered.